This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/iHeart. That's greenlight.com/iHeart.
You know that feeling when you're about to score 30% off, but they want your number? Ugh. Give them your Line 2 number instead. It's a second line on your phone, perfect for nabbing promo codes without inviting spam to your party. Sign up for every discount under the sun, then block the junk texts that follow. You get all the perks, but none of the spammy baggage. More codes, less chaos. Visit line2.com/audio or download Line 2 in the App Store and get your shopping sidekick today. Because the only thing blowing up your phone should be good deals.
Celebrate the return of football with the Minnesota Vikings at training camp. The fun kicks off on Saturday, July 26th for Back Together Saturday. Score tickets today at vikings.com/camp.
You know, I haven't seen you in a year or two, and you don't look any different, just as dumb as you've always looked.
I feel that way, too. Whatever you just said makes sense. That's one of the few things that makes sense is knowing how dumb I am, which means that I'm fairly smart.
Think you ain't?
You think I'm not? I think I is.
You're fairly bright if you put yours in a room of
really ignorant people, really stupid people. I'm smarter than hell. I am smart. Yeah. Yeah.
You're not the sharpest knife on the tree or the
brightest bulb in the drawer. But I'll tell you what, here's what I tell people that think I'm not.
Yeah.
If they say I'm not the brightest bulb in the drawer, I'll just say, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly what you'll say.
Yeah.
Neutrons.
Protons, neutrons, electrons, I am the cosmic man. Come on over here. I'll pop your head like a pimple. You think I won't?
Yeah, no, I think you will.
Easily.
The think I ain't thing. That, by the way, I don't think. Yeah, I think he really. Our next guest really needs no introduction at all. It's the superstar Mike Morris. Who is the former player that
Dougie Fresh
that he would just constantly say, "Think it ain't, think it isn't, think I shouldn't, think I won't, think I can't."
Yeah, that was him all day long. I said his name was. We called him Dougie Fresh. I wish I knew his last name, but he was from one of the Texas schools, I think A&M. But Grant Fiesel and I, with the Seattle Seahawks. Back in 1990, we noticed that he was like every single time anyone was talking to him, he would answer any question. It wouldn't even really need to be a question. They were just talking with him, and then he'd lead in with a line with "You think I haven't?" So we started baiting him.
Yeah,
and Fiesel would say, "Hey, you heading home for the after the season's over with? You think I won't?" I mean, where are you going? You think I ain't got a ranch down in Texas still? Oh my God!
You think I don't? You think I can't? You think I ain't?
Yeah,
I just love it.
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
Yeah,
it was on T-shirts around here. You and I used it so much that people hated us.
Think they didn't?
Oh, I think they did. You think I don't?
Yeah, I know they did.
They did.
Look at you.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me now. It's fun to have fun, but you have to know how.
Yeah, you're still in great shape.
I feel good.
Are you lifting constantly still?
I lift every day but Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
I like lifting still.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just still about 280.
You're at your perfect weight if
I was 7'8".
Yeah. Well, here's the deal.
I want the tap dancer. Come on, play the tap dancing.
You
I'm stronger than most. I was just going to fill that in for you in case you were going there. I benched 425 pounds a week ago.
Baby brother Peter, when he was playing hoops, he's now going to the Ohio State University. He's still
what?
He's going to the Ohio State, majoring in finance.
School.
And he still lifts all the time.
Does he really?
And he was lifting for basketball. We needed to beef him up a little bit. And, they do a nice job over at Eastridge, but I wanted to bring him to the best, to the superstar Mike Morris.
Where big things happen.
So where big things happen. So I think it was 2 or 3 times a week. I think it was 3 times,
times a week.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'd bring him over to your place. And coming up the road, it wasn't hard to find your place because all I hear is back in black. just pounded
down the street.
Well, the foundation of the house is moving. Well, the house is kind of moving a little bit.
It's heavy metal, moving heavy metal.
Yeah, moving heavy metal. Yeah. And, man, he got strong.
Oh,
I still got the videos of you.
That kid, one of my favorites. I told him, look, just come in, be consistent, don't miss. If you can get here, if mom and dad are going to flip the tab for it, make sure you're here 3 days a week. And that kid, oh my God, pound for pound, he was a strong kid. His legs were out of this world. He was squatting off the safety rack 335 pounds for like 5 or 6 reps to the floor. He was parallel.
Boy, he
was super strong.
He didn't know what to make of us. Because we would just ramble on and on about stuff.
You would just stick around and sit at the desk and be bit mode the whole.
Well, I didn't stay the whole time because I can only take you in small doses.
I know. I can't blame you because I feel the same way.
Yeah. And so I would drop him off and I'd go get a Caribou. I'd get a Boo or a Starbucks, whatever it was up there, and then I'd come back and go, well, I think he's only got 15 more minutes. I guess I can go in now. And then we would do the bits for 15 minutes.
Yeah, straight.
Yeah, and just do that. And
it never got old. Well, no, it did.
Yeah, it did.
It did. But you have yourself a really good kid there.
Thanks.
There's a guy that went after it.
Yeah.
He reminded me of my son, Steven, and he was not playing around. And you talk about strong. In about 12 weeks, I told him if he could just stick it out and go through the soreness and all through the technique and all the different little, that he'd be, I think, fairly strong. And how much weight did he end up putting on?
He was at his perfect weight if he was 7 feet 8 inches tall. He put on a lot of weight. He got to 160.
He came in at like 150,
soaking wet.
Maybe soaking wet.
Yeah, at the most. Text message says, hey, Superstar, good to hear you on with Common. 20 years ago, I lowered your ears and cleaned up the top at Dick's Barbers. It's Jason. Be well, my friend.
Gosh, you and I both used to be over there, didn't we?
All the time.
All the time.
You're the one that got me to do a high tight fade. And I didn't even like the look, but I just like saying it. Just walking into the barbershop and go, what do you need? High tight fade, clean up the top. And then they would do it. I look like Howie Long. Yeah. Because that's Howie Long, it's a high tight fade, clean up the top.
And if you flatten it off.
Yeah.
You can go high tight fade and go Howie Long, but then you can clean it. Then you can go like, the straight crew across the top and go flat top, which was fairly popular in my day, playing. And so they knew right then and there. Dick's a great guy.
The school we got a break already?
What?
Huh? We got time. We got plenty to get to. I got some. I want you to tell stories. Okay. There are a lot of our listeners that don't know who either one of us are.
I've got one to add, too.
Yeah. And one to add? Okay, good. Well, we'll tell stories on the other side of the break. It's the Superstar Mike Morris, along with Tenneby and Common Man here on The Fan.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Mall of America's mystery cards are back, and we're bringing them to you all summer long. Come grab yours at KFAN events throughout the summer, and wherever you see our KFAN street team, then make sure to redeem them at Mall of America for fun prizes and big discounts. See full list of events at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Well, the golf game might be off. I can still drop you like a 3-foot putt. I do know that.
You just said that, right?
Yeah, I did say that. You know where I live, too. And
you know where I'm at right now.
Well, this is 10 feet away from me.
We're not doing this online from From home, I'm here.
It'd be my favorite bit as I would text you and I hear you've been saying some, you've been bad-mouthing me around town.
I've heard. Yeah. I was hearing that when I was asked to come in.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect to come in and have you say I'll drop you like a 3-foot putt.
Yeah, you didn't expect that.
Yeah, so you're going to have to pay the piper on that one.
Well, your college where you played football, that doesn't even exist anymore, right? They changed the name, is that correct?
Because
weren't you like Southeast, Central, Northeast Missouri State or
San
something?
Luis Obispo, yes.
Yeah.
No. Now, let's not.
But
at one point it was
wasn't it
the
like
Missouri State School of Osteopathic Medicine.
Really?
It was at one time, and then it was something else. But then I played at Northeast Missouri State. Which is now Truman State.
Right.
Yeah.
So the college still exists, it's just a different name.
Right.
And you left there, and then you went undrafted?
Undrafted, free agent, United States Football League first.
Yep.
Had a few go-rounds with the Michigan Panthers and the Arizona Outlaws. And Frank Kush kind of made a push for me. He said the numbers aren't good enough in the USFL for you to stay. In the NFL, they keep more guys.
And Frank Kush, longtime coach, and he was with
Arizona State.
He was at the Arizona State. Okay.
Good coach. He was a great coach.
Yeah.
But, so that's kind of how it took off. And then I had a tryout with the Denver Broncos, with Dan Reeves. And he said, look, I want to keep you, but I got a full team. And that's the year they went to the Super Bowl. He said, but I've got friends that I used to play for in Dallas, Gene Stallings, who's in St. Louis, and I think he needs a long snapper. I'm going to call him for you. So I had some people do.
So Dan Reeves gave you a recommendation.
Absolutely.
And coming from Dan Reeves, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
So
that's really good.
So that's where you started, was the Cards, right?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Strictly long snapper. And then fill in like...
No. I really offensive line, a lot of offensive line. I had to play center and guard, and they tried me out at tackle, and I was doing okay there too. But we had good players. I mean, you just weren't going to play in front of Luis Sharp.
So in other words, you were long snapper, but then you were backup at several offensive line positions.
They didn't have numbers to suggest that they could just keep a long snapper. That happened later, much later. So now they have a roster spot for just a long snapper.
Yeah.
Now these days, but I had to. No, I had
with the Cards. What happened then?
We went to Arizona. I had my only injury up at training camp up in Flagstaff, Arizona, and ACL, MCL. I was done for the season, and got back. And Plan B free agency came up, and I was scooped up in the first year of that stuff. I ended up playing all 16 games, but it was with the Chiefs and the Patriots.
Okay. So you split time.
There.
Teams.
And then I did it again where Seattle wanted me halfway through, injuries to tight ends and offensive linemen. So now I'm gone to Cleveland, didn't miss a game. So I went Seattle, Cleveland the next year. Then I came here in 91 and I played it out.
So was there any time during this time when you're kind of bouncing around and you're doing this and that you thought, nah, maybe this isn't different, but you love the game and the money's good, and so you kept playing, right?
Yeah, just kept playing, and whatever it takes. I just thought whatever it takes, I'm gonna stick it out. And I know that
you found a home here.
Found a home and played 144 straight games. So 11 playoff games, not very many Super Bowls.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a good run. It was a heck of a nice run, and I met some good people here. Got into radio afterwards, and that's kind of how it went. That's when I met you and did 12 years here.
First you were working with Tolo. You were appearing on Tolo's show once a week.
Yeah.
Then Tolo melted down and threw a chair through the ceiling of the Bloomington studio, and he kind of lost it. So he left, or I don't remember if he quit or got let go.
He got let go.
And then I remember there was some kind of KFAN Viking function or something, and someone came up to me and said, I don't know, it was Westerman, maybe. I don't know who was it.
They said at the KFAN Christmas party.
Yeah, they said, Mike Morris wants to meet you. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what did I say about the club? And he wants to pop my head like a pin. But what was the opposite? You said, I listened to your stuff. I like what you do. I'm looking for a place to hang out once a week. Would you have me? And you were bigger than me. I mean, I couldn't say no at that point, right? And
some things never change.
And I rolled my eyes, shrugged my shoulders, and I said, all right, let's give it a try. And we had a good time. We had fun.
It was good. No, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I just never forget, like between practice or whatever, or at the break, having lunch and hearing you. It was boxing, it was golf, for sure, and then you had just everything. It was hilarious. So I'm like, man, I've got to meet this guy.
So, the belt game.
There's the
belt game. Is,
a lot of
that's
things.
One of my favorite stories.
When you go through my timeline, you have to follow pranks with each year almost because it was.
Well, that's what you guys did. You were cut up. You and Randall McDaniel and Johnny
Christie,
Randall
and John Randall,
all of them.
Stussy.
Right.
I mean, it was what Sammy Casalenda, my good friend, the equipment manager over there with Dennis Ryan. He used to say it was the reindeer games, and we were the ones that made up the reindeer games. So it was always a prank or always something totally ridiculous. So the belts used to end up on the floor after a football game, and Dennis Ryan would have to pull the belts out and do all the laundry. I mean, he did all of the laundry, and for the football team, and the belts would lay on the floor, and he had each coach's initials on the inside of the belt. And I thought. Denny's got to have a huge belt. He's got to have a massively long belt, right? So, I mean, there's a game in here somewhere. Why don't we just jumble them like they are on the ground right now and see if someone can just like free pull the Dennis Green Cobra right out of the pile. And we'll chip in $20 a piece and blind draw.
Right.
And whoever pulls the endless rope, the equator out of the pile takes the pile.
Yeah.
Takes the money.
Denny had the biggest belt.
Yeah. I think it was a 54. He was rotund.
I told a story today to guys I was golfing with. I don't know how we got into. We were just talking about sports your whole life, just sports. And I told him the story that you told me, what Denny, and do you remember telling me the story about what Denny would say to the rookies? About don't go taking your bonus money and going out and buying a Lamborghini.
Yep.
Because he'd say, because once you buy a car, once you get inside, it's just a car. And it was sage advice because you've seen it. New guy gets on the club, gets the signing bonus. A lot of these kids never had a dime, you know?
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden it's like, I got $300,000 in my pocket. I think I'm going to go and buy a $250,000 Lambo. Well, problem is, 6 weeks later, the Turk's knocking at your door. You're turning in the playbook. You got a $250,000 Lambo, but you don't have you don't have enough money to put gas in it.
Yeah, and you didn't buy it outright.
Right.
You financed that bad boy. Okay, so you've got a whole bunch of money that they're still soaking up for all the other stuff you bought like that. Yeah, it was bad. And
so he tried to
give
him
the only
advice,
time you can see yourself looking cool in a car like that is if you're driving downtown. You can see yourself in the windows if you're going down through through all the shops. But really, when you climb behind the wheel, it's still just a car.
It's a car. Couldn't have been the better advice anybody ever gave a player.
So true. My dad was a car dealer. He used to basically tell me the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. But Danny had a way of putting it. He definitely had a way of saying things.
You played on a lot of really good teams.
Oh, yeah.
Especially that 98 team. I mean, we all know what happened. $2,000.
$2,000? I can't even do that anymore. Yeah. Gary Anderson.
But that club, I mean, that must have been, I mean, that's, you know, and you get these list stories all the time online. I get them on my handheld computer, which doubles as a communication device. And it was, you know, it says, the list, this was just a couple weeks ago, there was a list of the best team in each franchise's history. And of course, 98 comes up for the Vikings. 15-1, you were 16-2, you lost that game to the Falcons. But that must have been a hell of a ride. I know it ended obviously horribly wrong against Atlanta, but that was a hell of a team you played.
It was incredible. It was incredible. The characters on that team and just the chemistry with all those different types of people made it. And Denny Green had his own flair, but the coaching staff did too. It was a perfect mix. And
that coaching staff to who's who. I mean, you had, you know, how many guys went from being an assistant coach to getting your own head coach? Dungy, right? Was he part of that?
Tony was there. Brian Billick.
Right.
There was one more head coach.
I think there was another one or two that ended up going to be head coaches.
And if they didn't, they went on and became
coordinators.
Part of the coordinators. Yeah, I mean, like Jack Burns, not Jerry.
Yeah.
Jack Burns was the offensive coordinator for Denny here, and he and Denny got into a big
disagreement,
a skirmish, you might say, upstairs in the meeting after the Bear win, after we won against the Bears. But there was a disagreement in philosophy on how the offense should play, and he fired him. And in steps Brian Billick. But Jack Burns, my point is he went to the Atlanta Falcons. Mm-hmm. And that was the team that advanced on to the Super Bowl, and he was the offensive coordinator for that team. No! Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. True story. Jack Burns. Damn it.
Show me that Super Bowl ring.
Right here.
That bad.
Gentleman John Burrow had the Atlanta Falcon NFC Championship ring, and I said, it was sent to Winter Park, by the way, in a nice little box. Yeah. He said, hey, look what I got. Came over to lift weights with us. Yeah. I'm wearing it first. Don't even put it on your hand. It's mine. Really, technically, it's mine. Let me wear it first, and then I'll give it to you at the end of the day. He goes, okay. So I wore that ring for like 5 hours.
Johnny Burrow was from Pinedale, Wyoming.
Very good.
I called high school football games that he played in. He came up to me and he has to remind me that. I didn't know. He goes,
the real deal,
you were the play-by-play guy for K95 in Kemmer, Wyoming, weren't you? I go, yeah, how'd you know? He goes, because I played for the Pinedale Wranglers and you called my games when I played on that team.
Good athlete.
Yeah.
My God. I did a football camp for him out in Pinedale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere. It is.
Yeah. It's just outside of Jackson, 90 minutes, I think?
Yep.
It's a great place.
We landed in the Jackson Hole.
Yeah, right? Jackson Hole.
And then kind of had a little drive over to Pinedale. Yeah.
We'll take a break, come back. One more segment to go with the superstar Mike Morris here on the Common Man program on The Fan.
Hey, the Fan and BigDeck.com. Want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword BILLS at KFAN.com now for a shot of winning. That keyword is BILLS. Enter it now at KFAN.com.
You know that feeling when you're about to score 30% off, but they want your number? Ugh. Give them your Line 2 number instead. It's a second line on your phone, perfect for nabbing promo codes without inviting spam to your party. Sign up for every discount under the sun, then block the junk texts that follow. You get all the perks, but none of the spammy baggage. More codes, less chaos. Visit line2.com/audio or download Line 2 in the App Store and get your shopping sidekick today. Because the only thing blowing up your phone should be good deals.
Want to chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program? Make your voice heard on the Brad, Sean, Brian text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message at 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
Last segment of the day, superstar Mike Morris here. I still have the picture of the first time I ever went to Curly. You're playing for the Purple, and I'm on the rail before the game. You're doing warm-ups, and I'm yelling, "Star!" And you come over, and somebody snapped a photograph of me and you talking there, and you autographed it for me. And I
remember that.
And it sits on the wet bar, though I don't spend much time at the wet bar because I don't know if I told you, but I quit drinking. But anyway, so that was, I watched you play at Curly.
Never forget it. We went, Nate, the night before.
Yeah. You told me that, I think you told me this, and maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, and you need help with words.
Please. I'm flat out idiot.
Well, I did too. As a matter of fact, it was funny. I was in third grade, and the teacher said, "Can anybody use the word before in a sentence?" And I raised my hand, and he said, "Dan?" I said, "Yeah, 2 + 2 be 4." 2 + 2 be 4.
You're so stupid.
I'm dumb as a box of rocks.
Oh,
is what
God,
I am.
yes.
But you said two of the best places to play were Curly and Arrowhead. Right?
Yeah.
Two best.
And Chicago. And Soldier, the old Soldier, yeah. The old Soldier, not the new one so much, but yeah.
What was special about those places? Was it the aura? Well, I mean, in Green Bay, a lot of it has to be just the history, right?
The Ice Bowl and I mean, and just the names up on the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, right.
I mean, every team's got the Ring of Honor.
Right.
But those names they ring true with what the NFL has been about. Those were NFL championships won by Bart Starr and Paul Hornung and Jim Taylor. But then they of course won the first 2 Super Bowls. Right, so I mean, Green Bay is kind of that's kind of the juggernaut.
And then why'd you like Arrowhead so much?
Being from Iowa, it was either like you like the Vikings, my brother Pat did, or you like the Chiefs.
Okay,
it might go with the Bears or Green Bay, but more than likely you were a Viking or Chief fan.
Okay.
And I just thought the new Arrowhead Stadium was unbelievable. I saw it being built before it was done. And my dad said, we're going to go to a game someday. And so he put me in the car and drove down to Kansas City for a sunny day, beautiful day, and it was the Chiefs versus the old Baltimore Colts.
You've been out of the league for a while. Do you still? I mean, seriously, do you watch? Do you watch every Sunday? Do you watch? You're still
wouldn't miss it.
Okay.
Oh man, I was a big fan of football my entire life,
right?
And I mean, nothing has changed in that regard.
What do you think of the purple right now?
I really do think they have a lot in place. They have a lot in place. The quarterback.
It's one thing we don't know.
It's an unproven thing. It's a big question mark. So you have to hope that he stays healthy, that he is what Kevin O'Connell says is that he is franchise material.
Yeah.
And I don't think he would endorse that. Being who he is and being a really knowledgeable coach in regards to quarterback play. I don't think he would say that and put his name on that and his stamp of approval on that if he didn't really believe he had the right guy.
What I liked was, as soon as the season was over, sometimes you try to couch things a little bit because you don't want to hurt feelings. As soon as the season was over, he basically said, we need to work on our interior offensive line. I know you got guys in your team that are probably going, ooh, I guess that means I'm losing my job, but that's what they needed. We saw it, especially in the Rams game. I mean, the Rams, 9 sacks in that playoff game, and they didn't blitz once. It was just the interior
vanilla defense.
Yeah, they were just using four pass rushers.
And just drop everybody. Yeah. I mean, it's just...
So they went out and got 2 guys that had lost playing time to injury, but both have good resumes, and same thing with the interior of the defense. They said, we're not getting any pressure from the inside. So they went out shopping and got a couple of guys who have sacked the quarterback a lot, but again, they're also injuries. So again, there's always that question, have they lost anything because of injury? They're all getting a little long in the tooth. They're closer to 30 or are at 30 than being in that mid-20s, but at least they addressed positions that they thought of need, and I think most fans that watched thought those were positions of need. They needed the interior of the 2 lines.
It's one of the trenches, and even more so on the offensive line.
Yeah,
because if you can control the football and have long sustained drives, obviously you wear their defense out by bully ball with the big guys up front for your offense.
Well, Philadelphia,
you control the clock. Philadelphia's the model. Look what they did with to the Chiefs. Yeah. A fresh defense all the time, coming out and just blowing up the Chief offensive line.
The GM there, Howie, is it Roseman? The guy for Philly? I mean, all he does is draft offensive linemen.
Yep.
And like you say, if you can, and that allowed Saquon Barkley to have as good a year as you'll see any running back have in 10, 12 years, right?
That's exactly what you want. I mean, we've been trying to retread things here with the offensive line. And there have been some good guys who've come through to remedy things for a while. There have been some decent guys that have come through here. But I mean, and one really legit, like Steve Hutchinson was like legit, okay? Mm-hmm. He's an offensive, Hall of Famer. But we've had a lot of patchwork and guys that were on the end of their career, so they don't have a lot to add. They have a window of 2 years, and then they're gone, right? But so now what they're thinking of is trying to copy what Philadelphia has, which is about a 335-pound average up front across those 5 guys. And a little mean streak, really physical. And you can push all you want, but I mean, come on, man. I mean, they're tough. They're big, tough guys that can run. So that's what you want. That's obviously what's worked the best in league history. Whether it's, the Dallas front wall in the early 90s. It's that way. It just works that way every single time. Green Bay, any team that has gone consistently to the Super Bowl have an offensive line like that.
Well, speaking of Dallas, a good friend of yours, gentleman I've had the opportunity to play golf with a few times, Johnny Randall. Who was the Larry played for Dallas?
Larry
Allen?
Larry Allen. He said, I asked him, I said, who was the toughest guy you ever had to face? He said, Larry Allen. He said it wasn't even close. Larry Allen.
Yeah. I mean, oh my God. What a freak.
Yeah.
Just incredible. And Randall McDaniel came back from the Pro Bowls, having split time with him in the Pro Bowls out in Hawaii for years with Larry Allen. And he goes, I think there's a change of guard at left guard. He said, I think this kid might be
right.
He benches 7. He did. He passed away just recently, but 700-pound bench, legitimate. 700-pound bench. And in shoulder pads, and I've talked with linebackers, they would come out and get, and by the way, so fast. He could run. I don't know if you've ever seen him chase down the linebacker from the Saints who intercepted the pass from Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
Larry runs him down at 335. He was dangerous.
Yeah.
He played for 18 years. Long time. He retired and passed away just recently.
Yeah.
He was that good.
This division, top to bottom, looks like it could be as good as any in the NFL. You got my kiddies. This is like I have to rub my eyes and think I'm dreaming. NFC Championship game 2 years ago, and they blew it against Washington. That was not a good game for them.
Blew it a little bit against San Francisco. It should have been in the Super Bowl.
Well, the Super Bowl in that one, and then last year against Washington, it didn't go well. But 15-2, Packers were a playoff team at 11-6. Vikings 14-3. I think the Bears. I don't know how much. I don't know how much you think coaching makes a difference, but Ben Johnson was the hottest name, and he's now with the Bears.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing. They rebuilt their offensive line. The Caleb Williams kid looks good. I think it's up for grabs. I think just about anybody can win the division.
I definitely agree with all that. I think Green Bay might take a little bit of a setback.
Okay.
But Love is an up and coming. He's a real player.
Right.
And as long as they keep their offensive line around that kid stable, I think he's okay. I think we're okay, but we got to find the kid. We think we have him. We don't know.
Right.
You don't put a helmet on for a preseason game and say, that's our answer. But then you have guys like Daniel Jones walking out the door and going to Indianapolis for $14 million, which is bargain basement. You got your big timer, Darnold, going to the Seahawks. I mean, you let all that go because you really think that much about JJ.
You must, yeah.
So
your reputation says taking maybe your job too if he ends up being Ponder. I mean, I don't know if he would. I don't know if O'Connell gets fired or in Quincy, but that's
what I'm saying is he's calling him a franchise guy, and he's like the guru, right? So you don't want to put your name on that kid so he really believes it. He must, because he has said several times that this is our guy.
I think he's quarterback in high school and college, only 3 losses. I think his record is like 66-3 or something. Do you think that makes that big of a difference? Do you think just because you win it? Because, I mean, it's a team game. We know that. And then, at Michigan,
I think it does.
In Michigan, he had to make key throws, but still they ran the football a lot, right?
And he made the throws. And he didn't make mistakes. And he got past Alabama to get to the big game against Washington.
Yeah.
And beat the pants right off the Huskies and national champion. But that's it. That national championship is great. State champions, fantastic. You know how to win. You want that culture. You definitely want that culture. And that's what we think we have.
Number of text messages coming into the Bradshaw and Broughton KFAN text line. This one says, give my love to the superstar, Barry the art guy.
Oh,
you
my
remember Barry?
God.
Barry's done all sorts of work for me. He's done all sorts of work for me. He does the Flop Squint and Tears T-shirts for us. He does the artwork for that.
So talented.
Yeah.
He did my ring, my almost Super Bowl appearance ring.
Absolutely. Which is, I'm getting a lot of people that say the Ravens story is the best superstar story of all time.
I don't know.
Well, for you, it might not is one of those. But tell it, you're sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
And the phone rings and it's Brian Billick.
Yeah, I'm retiring, and I'm out there, and it's halfway through the season. And I get a call from Coach Billick, Brian Billick, offensive coordinator here for years and years, San Francisco for a few years.
Head coach of the Ravens.
He ends up being, after the 98 game, that was his last game against the Falcons, and he was off and running to become the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. And he called me and he says, Michael J., having a lot of trouble with the long snapper out here. He's got a bad back. It's so bad he gets physically sick. It's so bad he can't bend over and do anything. How would you like to come out? And, 16-game season, and we're eight games in. He goes, we're 5-3 right now. But we're winning most of that on field goals, to be honest. Our defense is really good. But I'm getting rid of whoever the kid was at the time. I don't know. Carter, I think his last name was Carter, but I'm bringing in Trent Dilfer. I'm like, oh. Well, maybe I'll just stay retired.
Well, and then, but he also, he said, you can fly in Friday night, walk through on Saturday, play Sunday, and go home.
Go home after the game.
He's doing everything he can, but physically forcing you to go play for the Ravens. Yeah. And you said,
I said, no, I'll pass. I'll pass. But
show us that Super Bowl ring you won
right here. Right there. Look, it would have been a Super Bowl unless I messed something up for him. But you can't come in and just snap like an afternoon and be back in pads. I mean, I don't think it would have worked. Well, you were done. Yeah, I was. Mentally, I was out. I was gone. And it would have been okay money. I mean, it would have prorated back to a half a year, and it would have been...
Well, we would have got the ring, too, which every guy wants. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess there's just...
That 2000 Raven team was the second best defense ever. Only took the 85 Bears.
Well, I remember, you correct me if I'm wrong, I think like during the middle of the season, they won 3 games in a row and they didn't score a touchdown in 3 games. They were all field goals because the defense, your mama couldn't get by them, your daddy couldn't, the police couldn't, nobody could. They were that good.
Really good. I mean, Ray Lewis and oh God, who else? Who was the main character back in the backfield? Ed Reed.
Eddie Reed. Yeah.
They were great players. I mean, they were stacked.
Yeah.
And they didn't let people score. I could have played for them. It would have been great. I said no, though. You have to say yes.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you the truth.
So I remember you, Randall McDaniel, Todd Stussy, and I went out and played golf at Bear Path because Stussy lived at Bear Path, right? So we're going to go play golf out there.
Yep.
Now, you played some high school golf, so you got a little bit of game and you like it, and you take it semi-serious.
I liked it.
Randall McDaniel, Todd Stussy did not. It's just something to do, right?
Randall has become a pretty good player, but back then he wasn't. Okay. He wasn't there yet.
Yeah, and they were just. It was something to do. Is go out. It was
like Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah, it was more just social than actually playing golf.
Yep.
So I remember we're playing, and we get to the 11th hole. I think that's where Stussy lived off the 11th. I think so. We got to stop there. So they're in there and Stussy's having a beer or two. And I'm like, I want to go play golf. What are we doing? And we're sitting in there for the longest time, right?
Yep.
So we get out and we're playing and we get to the 15th hole. Okay. 15's that short par 4. And there's this, I think you remember this.
Oh,
there's this
how do you forget it?
There's this big crevice, this ditch basically. Well, it's not a ditch, it's bear path. So it's like just a low line. It's a
swale.
It's a swale. And you have to hit over it. It's rocks and bushes and twigs and stuff. And Stussy's been playing with this baby blue golf ball the whole time, and he doesn't want to lose it. Yeah, it's like a robin egg. Doesn't want to lose it. And he hits it down into the ravine. So he goes up there, and he's looking down. He starts going down, starts trying to walk down the side of it. All of a sudden, you just hear boom, 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 and you hear branches breaking and stuff. And you hear, He comes back up. It looks like he got hit by a truck. He's scratched. He's bleeding. Yeah. He's completely, his golf gloves are just torn and tattered. But he had the blue golf ball.
He got it. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but he leaned onto a branch to try and balance himself so he could get his ball retriever on the ball that he saw underneath. It was in the water. There was water down there.
There was water down there.
It broke with his weight, and he splashed down.
And he tumbled down.
He tumbled down.
Boom, 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 boom. You can hear it.
And when he gets hit, he's sitting in the water looking at everyone else, and he goes, well, while I'm in here, you want me to get some more for you guys?
He did say that.
I'm like, oh, my God. And he comes out with a blue robin egg.
He was a hell of a player, wasn't he?
He was a very good football player. Yeah. Mean. And some of that mean streak. That's a Philadelphia player.
Yeah.
He had a mean streak. He was a little on the dirty side and loved being that guy.
Yeah.
Loved it. But he was tough. So tough. He played with a separated shoulder for most of the season. I've seen him play with the separated shoulder and so sick from food poisoning the night before. And he played every single game against Chris Dolman when Dolman was with the 49ers.
Okay.
He blocked him.
You missed the game at all?
You never replace it. No? You never replace it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever replace it.
Yeah. Do you any favorite moment or two? We got a minute or two here. Is there anything that really stands out? I mean, your friendships that you developed with the players. I think
that's always the biggest part of it, is that you'll never replace that for sure. But then I think that there's something about my first game when you play as a rookie. Sure. But it was a big deal for me. And real quick, I got out to the football. It's 4th down and 1 yard to go, and so we're playing the Dallas Cowboys at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, and they keep the defense out there because you never know. It's 4th and 1. You might sneak it, right?
Yeah.
So over the football for my first play ever in the NFL, it's Randy White. Randy White.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm going to mess this up, and I've only lasted one play. And I'm going home. I blocked him. But I snapped it and blocked him.
And you blocked
because you could run over the long snapper.
Right.
And the monster, half man, half monster, was over the ball. And I used to love him, watching him play when I was a kid. And there he is. He's over the ball in a 4-point stance. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going for a ride. I'm going for a ride. And that's the biggest in 98. You could pick out almost anything in 98, and it would be right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got tape with you?
I got tape.
Remember when you taped me to the chair?
Yeah, I mean, I love it.
I'm in the studio.
You mouthed off once.
It'd be great for social media now if you could redo it.
And they taped me to the chair, and then I'm trying to do my Houdini and get out of it, and all of a sudden the chair falls backwards. I'm looking straight up in the air, taped to this chair.
Yeah, I don't know why you fight. Why would you fight?
I don't know why I fight. I'll tell you what, I wanted to pop your head like a pimple, but I couldn't because I was taped.
Well, you're a mommy. I mean, there's no way you can. Why don't you just take your taping?
You guys taped
a good rookie.
You taped Barrero too, didn't you guys? Were you part of that, or was it a different guy? I think Barrero said he got taped once.
I'm
taped everybody.
Sure, I must have taped.
Yeah,
him.
you must have.
Dan Seaman got it. Mick and Salmo got it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure.
You just tape them.
Yeah. I mean,
he's taped so many he can't remember.
I can't even really remember. I know that choking out people was a big deal when UFC started. And it was the biggest deal if you had the biggest choke out on the team. It was a competition, and I got Bill Murray down at the cafeteria in Mankato. He was down there with Mike Vick and Ahmad Rashad. I choked out Bill Murray. Let that be a lesson to you.
I thought Murray cooled you with a folding chair.
Well, you almost did. You almost cooled me with a folding chair. You think he didn't?
Guys, so good to see you again, man.
Good to be here. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
We'll do it again. We should do it more often.
Absolutely.
I love having you. And during the season, we'll maybe break down some football.
Let's do it.
That's the superstar, Mike Morris. Tenby, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We enjoyed a visit with you today. Tomorrow during the 2 o'clock hour, Michael Russo of The Athletic to talk some hockey. We're back to tomorrow at 1. I'm not sure who's in next. Somebody will be sitting in this chair. We'll see you tomorrow at noon.
Good night, folks, and good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
Well done, young man!
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.